Hello and welcome to Felixstowe Matters. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now we've got a really interesting programme for you. Now, do you know Basic Life in the High Road, in Hamilton Road? It's a charity shop. Now, I don't know about you, I go in there a lot. I really love it in there, and I like the people in there. They're always so cheerful and pleasant and always lovely things to rummage through. Well, today I've got with me Graham Denny, who is the founder and administrator for Basic Life. Hello, Graham.
Maureen.
Thank you so much for coming
Thanks
today.
for inviting me.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to ask you something, Graham.
Okay.
Anyone from Felixstowe knows that Felixstowe is full of charity shops. So, what makes Basic Life that bit different from other charity shops?
Right. I think you're right. There are a lot of charity shops, and we're happy to support them because they all do fantastic work in their own fields.
Aww.
But there are some differences with Basic. One of the main ones is that we're all Felixstowe people. We're all born and bred here. Most of us are born here anyway. And so we all know the needs of the town, the different quirks that Felixstowe, Walton and Trimley has. So that's one of the differences. Also, from our two shops, one in Walton, one in Felixstowe, all of the proceeds go to the Felixstowe, Walton or Trimley community. So it's a local charity supporting local needs. So we
nowhere else?
No, we don't have a black hole of admin, somewhere far away. Everything goes back into Felixstowe, so it's a very, very local charity.
I think that's really unusual. I don't know of any other charity that is so locally based.
Well, I think as a society we might be moving back into that, of having the local traditional charity shop supporting the local community, because I think it always used to be that way. But now the bigger charities, we often hear that the bigger charities are charging pretty close to the commercial price, or they might actually buy new products in.
Yes, I've seen that.
We're not going to do that. We're so generously supported by the people. We don't need to do it, and we wouldn't do it anyway. So our prices are really, really cheap. And another difference we have is that we're not money driven at all. In fact, we don't really care too much about the money. What we're trying to do is support the community, support the people, and we find that having the liberation of not worrying about money actually enables us to do a lot more things and to help a lot more people, and it's really exciting.
Well, so what do you do? How do you help local people?
Okay, well the shops are really the front of what we do, and obviously we receive goods and we sell goods, but we work with social services, citizens advice, housing associations, and we will help local people in need. If they apply for some assistance and they genuinely need it, we will help them. And it could be anything from an elderly person breaking their glasses, which might not seem like a big matter, but it is to an elderly person. We've done that before, things like that. We've helped the schools, the doctor's surgeries, all over the town, lots of things. We've helped a group go to a guides camp just before Christmas. We've paid £500 towards a disabled child's bed recently in the last week. All sorts of things. We've got an all-terrain wheelchair, which is based down at the leisure centre, which is available for free hire for Felixstowe people or visitors to the town. Countless things, really, over the 15 years we've been going.
Goodness. So you're saying you'll help individual people. How do they contact you? Do they do it through an organisation?
No, it's us. We are the charity. So all they do is say, can I have an application form? They fill it in. We might ask for a couple of references to say it's genuine, obviously, and then we say yes, no, and if yes, how much. There's a lady had her children were able to run through towards the road because she didn't have any fencing, so we got her a new fence.
So that's
window
real
locks.
local stuff?
Oh, real local stuff, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And we also run a food bank. There are people in Felixstowe with no food. Seriously, there are. And it was a bit of a shock to me at the start when we started our food bank back in, I think, March 2013. It's shocking, really, but there are.
Really?
Yeah.
Are these families or these individuals?
It's
are
right
they
across the
people
board.
on the street or people in homes?
I don't think there's many people living on the street in Felixstowe, to be honest. I think people who are homeless are actually sofa surfing. So in my opinion, what they need is actually food, which they can use a microwave or a cooker wherever they are. So we will provide food to anybody as long as they're referred as well. So if you need food, and it doesn't matter whether you're employed, whether you're a couple who are both employed, if you need food, then please contact us. There's a very simple form. We don't want to know your life history, we just have the initials of the person and the demographics, the age, and if there's children or whatever, and we'll provide a food parcel. But we do ask that the person is referred by a professional body, such as the doctor, a vicar, somebody from social services, housing association, somebody who will say, yes, this is genuine. We don't get ripped off very often. It's a very small town, but we obviously have to make some sort of paper trail and make
Yes.
sure it's genuine.
Yes.
Because when we started the food bank, the Suffolk County Council took us under their local welfare authority guidelines, so we work within the parameters of that. But we try to make it as simple as possible.
That's amazing. I just got to say, did you hear all of that? So if you really are in dire straits and really do need some food, please go to your doctor
Yeah,
or your
a vicar or anybody.
or somebody who can vouch,
They can vouch for you, really, yeah. And really, I
Yeah.
just want to say that with the food bank, a lot of people think it's the usual suspects, if you like, but it's not. It's people, there's been the benefits situation where people would receive benefits maybe fortnightly or weekly. Now, quite often, it's one amount per month. And with the greatest will in the world, a lot of people haven't got money management skills, so they tend to spend the money quicker than they probably should. Also, there's people in work, they have their hours cut significantly so that they don't actually have enough money left over to pay for things. So while they are employed, they're not actually earning enough money, and they don't think they qualify. Also, couples, you might have a couple of people both in work where it gets to the last week of the month, and what we'd say is don't go out and get one of these loans which, you know, the massive, like we've heard of people who've done that.
Yes. Well, you get desperate, don't
Absolutely,
you?
yeah. So we want to make Felixstowe a town where people look out for each other. There's lots and lots of caring organisations. We have a network of people. So virtually whatever your situation, there's someone who can help you in Felixstowe. We're so lucky here, and I want to create a town where people do look out for each other. There's people beside you, standing beside you through your difficulties, and we can do it. There's nothing to stop us from doing that. So.
You're lovely. I really like him. Isn't that a wonderful... Do you know, Felixstowe is the most amazing place.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
absolutely is full of wonderful people. I really hope you're hearing this. If you need help, there's always somewhere to go.
Definitely.
So, Graham, you're doing such wonderful work, but you're a young man.
Haven't been told that for a while.
You know, you don't work. I mean, did you work before?
Yeah, I had a shipping company, and I was in shipping for 35 years, I think it was. But now I'd started the charity back in 2000, so we've just had our 15th anniversary, so that's not bad. We've had a shop somewhere in the town for the majority of that time. I think we had a six-month gap, but apart from that, we've always had a shop. And I decided to get into the charity full time, so it's hard work, but it's so satisfying at the end of the day. And of course, the volunteers are the people who make it.
Yeah.
There's some absolutely wonderful people who give up their time, energy, and really help us both at the Felixstowe shop and at our Walton shop. They really are the salt of the earth. They really do put the hours in, and but they get something back too, just as I do, because it's so nice at the end of the day to think you've enabled somebody to do something maybe they couldn't do otherwise.
Yes.
It's just such a lovely feeling.
And I go into the shop, fairly regularly, and the people in there are lovely. They're such a pleasure.
I think they enjoy it. I think we're sort of made to help each other, and it just does the people good, rather than sitting at home and feeling a bit maybe sorry for themselves. There's a routine of getting up, and maybe it's an afternoon in the charity shop.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, it's just a brilliant feeling. It really is. And you meet lots of people. So.
Yes, yes, you do. Yes,
do.
I think it's wonderful. So, how many shops have you got?
We've got the two shops. We've got the one in Hamilton Road, which is next door, but one to Argos.
Yes.
And in Walton, we've got the shop opposite the Half Moon, which is where I'm based most of the time.
Right.
But the people have been so generous. I'm always, every day, taken aback by the things which people give us. Brand new items, they just donate wonderful things to us. So we've had to open a depot down near the tip. On the right-hand side, there's a few industrial units. So we took one off.
Is that Langer Road?
It's along there. What we don't want to advertise where it is for two reasons. One, because people start dropping stuff there, and the other one is that my office there, we hope to double it up as a consultation room for people. Snap Housing are going to use it, and other organisations, and we want it to be in a nondescript place where clients can come along and it's away from the glare of publicity, if you like.
Absolutely,
so
it's confidential.
That's it.
Yes.
So we want to double it up and then provide another new service.
So we don't need to say any more than that.
No, not really.
I didn't say what I said.
But it's getting quite chocker down there as well now.
Really?
So yeah, it's great. But we can focus the stock better and put better things in the shops now.
You do everything because you've got the food bank,
Yeah.
and that sounds a big job on itself,
It is.
it?
Again, the people are so generous. There's boxes all around the town, and at Solar, Darren, the manager of Solar Co-op, he supported us from day one. They've been tremendous, absolutely tremendous. And there's a basket behind the counter there where people put in their things. We collect it every week, and we've got a lot of food, and it's all lovely things. At Christmas, we were able to give out 50 sacks of seasonal goods to the residents of Felixstowe Foyer, the Langley Sanctuary Housing people, and social services gave us about 15 names of people who'd be lonely and vulnerable over Christmas. And people had given us seasonal, chocolate things and selection packs, and we were able to take these sacks out and give them to them. So the whole community is working together, and we're kind of like the people in between who are passing it on, really.
Yeah. Do you know what? I go into basic life and pass it, as all of you must do. I had no idea there was so much going on. So we've got the food bank, and now you're looking at housing.
Well, there's a housing group who deal with that, who are called Snap Housing.
But you're
they will give
assisting
advice.
them?
Yeah, we'll provide them a room where they can meet clients locally.
Fantastic.
And we want to do it for other organisations as well.
So you'll save them a lot of money, or you'll give them an area that they can get together and people can see.
Yeah.
And also, I heard you saying about doctors. You were helping.
Yeah,
the
we've
doctors?
provided equipment for all the doctors' surgery. So if you have a heart attack at Haven Health area, it's probably our defibrillator. If you're at the
They're
Grove,
expensive, aren't they?
well, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, they're a few quid.
Yeah.
I think we did about £1,500 to £2,000 to each surgery of equipment. We asked the doctors what they needed, what they'd like, and Central Surgery that's now at the Grove had a hydraulic hoist platform and a fridge, and I thought, well, a fridge, that's not much, but it's a specialist fridge to keep the drugs at the right temperature.
Oh, right.
And we've done all of the surgeries, all of the schools, we've paid for young people to go on outings they otherwise couldn't. We've supported level 2 now and again, and all of the organisations in Felixstowe seem to work very well together. And what I'm trying to do is join the dots so that everybody's one thing.
And everybody does their bit.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we all need each other, really. Yeah.
But you sound so proactive. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just get the impression some charities are reactive to situations, whereas you sound like you're very proactive. You're out there, getting things.
I think some of the bigger charities are dictated to from head office. I know some of them have a price for shoes and a price for this, and they have to stick to it, which must be very difficult for the people in the shop. Whereas we can be spontaneous. If somebody needs something today, if it's valid and everything else, they can have it today, and we can do it there and then. We just get together and say yes, no, and if yes, how much. Whereas the other charities seem to be a bit constrained by whoever's head office.
Because they've got head offices.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of overheads as well.
Yes.
But we can react quite quickly to things. We were the organisation chosen to support the victim of the assault in Walton last year, which is an awful thing.
Yes.
We were able to very quickly do a Just Giving page. The Felixstowe and Walton community gave money very, very quickly, and it was an honour to be the people who had chosen to do it. We've got a Just Giving page for a Felixstowe family where the children have a condition which affects their bone growth, and people are giving to that, to the Blake appeal. It's a boy called Blake, and only last week we gave £500 to another child who's from Felixstowe who needs a specialist bed as well. So there's lots of needs in the town, but there's also lots of people who are there prepared to help meet that need. So it's
fantastic. But how do people find out about this? Because a lot of what you're saying, I didn't know about, and I'm wondering if you knew about these. I mean, where do you go? One, if you needed something, I understand if you go to your local vicar or doctor for food, but is there any other way of contacting you? When you're saying fill out a form, where would they get a form?
Well, the forms are available in both of our shops, so if anybody just pops into the shop, and we're always conscious that it's a very difficult thing to do, just like asking for the food is a very difficult thing to do, and we're trying to break through that stigma. I mean, 30 years ago people wouldn't go into charity shops. Now it's quite a cool thing to do, you know, recycling all that. So let's break through the stigma of asking for food. If you need food, just ask for it. And we don't give a parcel, we give a couple of carrier bags, so there's no embarrassment there. Very conscious of that.
Sensitive.
Yeah. And also, if you have a need of something you need some help with, we have had people ask us to totally recarpet their homes. We're not going to do that. We had somebody asking us to pay for their driving lessons and tests. We're not going to do that. It has to be a basic, real need where it will enable something to be improved. But if you come into the shop, we'll give you a form. We have them ready at both shops. You just fill it in, give it back in, and then we get back to you very quickly if we can.
Fantastic. Now, outsiders may think that Felixstowe is a really wealthy town. It gives that impression, but it's not, is it? In parts.
In parts, I think there's quite two different parts really. People who may be a little bit cocooned in their own world, and the other people who, the quiet majority maybe, who are just getting through each day and carrying on. Langer Park School, for example, had quite a bad time a while ago, so we started providing free breakfast for the children down there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we sell a lot of books on Amazon. We've got about 1,200 on there at the moment, and we sell lots of things on on eBay. So what we decided to do was take the money that we got for the book sales, and I've called it turning books into breakfast. So we've been providing free breakfast for the children at Langer Park School for about 18 months. We also provide them for the pupils at Corston School as well. Really? So this has been an ongoing thing, and it's really nice to know that the children have improved in their behaviour. The school apparently is blossoming, and I think it's maybe like watering plants. You know, you put some good stuff into
I think that. Oh, you're a wonderful man.
So that books into breakfast hopefully is a
what
real.
What do they get for breakfast?
Well, the teachers go from the school to Darren again at the co-op. They purchase whatever they need for the children. I understand the Langer one has really grown, and they started to buy fresh fruit and really healthy things for the breakfast. And Corston do the same. A teacher goes in and purchases whatever they need, and then we just get a bill and pay it. But that's the way it works. So we'd like to expand that really.
Oh, right.
So I think it, you know, my mum, and I'm sure your mum used to say it's the most important meal of the day.
It is, and I think that's wonderful, and I think you're so right. You should never, children shouldn't start the day without a good, wholesome breakfast.
Well, the people of Felixstowe are enabling it to happen, so that's the community again, looking after itself and, you know, looking after people's needs. So it's
oh, it's just a wonderful place.
It's good fun, isn't it?
It really is, but full of wonderful people, and you're doing so much work. Have you any projects on the you know, in the future, or are you so? You've got so much on at the moment.
Well, we've had a few recent projects. We did a raffle, and the idea was to buy a wheelchair for the Felixstowe shop, which is there. I think we've got one or two actually. So if anyone needs a wheelchair in Felixstowe, they can use that. We're in conversation with an organisation who do community work, which I've got a meeting this afternoon about that, but hopefully that will come to fruition. And we're just hoping to support all of the people in Felixstowe when they have real needs. And we're quite lucky that we've got Trimley, Walton, Felixstowe, almost a kind of peninsula where we can cut that off, and we can really concentrate on making the community a caring one that, you know, as I say, supports each other and make it an even better place to live.
Isn't that a wonderful thing to hear? That's beautiful. And Felixstowe Peninsula, isn't it, that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the end of the road, isn't it?
It is. You're doing wonderful. And I'm going to ask you something that you most probably can't answer, so if you can't say.
Okay.
But how much money do you think you've collected over the
15 years. I think that is an impossible
It
thing.
is, isn't it? Was
The other thing is you can't,
No.
it's a fair bit I suppose, but you can't really quantify it, I don't think, as we make it so that the things we buy you can see, touch and feel most often, because I think that's really important that the people can see where their money's going. But there's a lot more to it. When we had the shop on Cavendish Park estate, which was next door to Safeway at the time before Morrison's took over, people came into that shop and spoke to Angela there, and she was the only person they spoke to all week. There's a lot of very lonely people in the town, and if they don't want to volunteer and get into that sort of thing, they come in and they share with us, which is lovely. It's really nice. And our shops are a place where people can relax, feel at home. We've got the scheme where we're a safe place for people with special needs to come in. I think there's a sticker. And because we're not in it for any commercial reasons, we're in it as a people charity to support people. We have people with special needs who work for us. And that's fantastic because they have a job and they know what to do. And it's just making everything better.
Perfect.
That's the whole
you're
idea.
really wonderful. Now, the way you raise money is by people donating anything to you, isn't
Anything.
it? Any furniture down to to jewellery, to everything in between.
Absolutely everything.
I've been in the shop, I'm sure you have. Everything you want is in there. So how would you do that?
Well, we have bags come in, and the bags get sorted by these wonderful ladies who come in, and we'll sort them out as to whether they're good or not. If they're not any good, they go for recycling. If they've got stains, we will take rags. We'll take anything really.
Oh yes, you can.
Yeah, and a chap called Fabian comes at 7 o'clock on a Monday morning, which is lovely in the cold, and he takes all the bags
7
away.
o'clock Monday.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I think they go off to Poland, and if they don't get used in Poland, they go off somewhere else, Africa, I think. But we get paid for that, so that's very good money for us. All the other things get sorted. That's what we're doing at our depot. So we're going to sort out metalware and have that recycled and things like that. If things are a little bit quirky or a little bit special, I might put them onto eBay or something like that. But we by no means take the best things out for the internet. I don't think that's morally right to do that. And the clothes go out to the shop, and shoes and everything, bric-a-brac, and tops are £2 each or whatever. It doesn't matter if they're Dorothy Perkins, Laura Ashley or whoever else, they're £2 across the board. It's a lot easier for us, easier for the customers to have a rail where everything's £2. All the paperbacks are 40p and the hardbacks are 60p. It doesn't matter what price it says within them. Let's make life simple. And at the end of the day, we've got to remember these things are given to us. You know, so we remember that and pass them on as cheaply as we can. And we find that has a knock-on effect where people want to help us. Yesterday, the teachers at Trimley St Mary's School had decided that they wouldn't send cards to each other. They put the money to one side and they came in with an envelope with £53 in, which they just gave to us.
Isn't that
So,
lovely?
and a big thank you to them and other people who do similar things all through the year. It's just amazing. I think everybody's working together and they've caught the vision a little bit. That we can make a change here if we really want to.
Yes, and because it's local, you can feel that you're making a difference locally. It's wonderful.
Absolutely, you can see the things that you're getting. So it's.
You're doing a wonderful job.
Well, it's the volunteers are doing a tremendous job.
And they're lovely.
They absolutely are. Yeah.
They are, because having met them, as I say again, it's always a pleasure. So, how would you ring you? How would you contact you, ring you?
Okay, well, the Felixstowe shop, the number's Felixstowe 272618.
272618.
Yeah, they are the people who, because they've got a bigger shop, they will do furniture collections or deliveries. And a big thank you to Richard Cobb from Wainwright's, because he allows us very quietly, with no publicity, to use his van on the Tuesday.
I've seen the van.
And that's so
I've
kind
seen
of him
it.
to do that. So thank you, Wainwright's, thank you, Richard.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. The Walton shop, where I'm based most of the time, is on 279400.
279400.
Yeah.
We'll have to make a note and put this at the end so that you can take it down.
And we've got our website, which is basic.org.uk.
Yes, we'll put that on.
Okay, so you'll be able to you can find out what we've done in the past and things like that. But at the moment, we're looking for DVDs and CDs at the moment. They're the things that we're looking for.
Oh,
Because we find we can move them on quite quickly and we can make a good
Right.
profit from that.
So if you've got anything you don't need or you'd like to donate, look for the number on the end for a very, very good cause, and it's for all of us here in Felixstowe. So, fantastic. But you've got another thing you've got to tell me about.
Oh, what's that?
The charity dinner.
Oh, yes, yes.
It's going to be a charity dinner.
Well, Mandy, who founded the Felixstowe magazine, which everybody will have through their doors every month, and we contribute an article to that every month, which is very, very good for us because people get to hear a little bit about what we're doing. We've got together, Mandy is supporting a school in India where the children need various books and various things. So she's got that as her project. And we're just basic. So what we're going to do on the 30th of March, we're having a charity meal at Bombay Night in Walton. Tickets are £25 each, and there's going to be a raffle and games and all sorts of things. So it's a joint venture between the two of us. Mandeep has a real heart for the community, as you can tell from the magazine. So we're working together on that. So if anybody would like to come along, support the charity, support either side of it, that'd be great. If they just ring one of the numbers that are going to appear shortly, then we can put you down for a place.
Fantastic. And that's what date was
the
that
30th
again?
of March.
30th of March.
Which I believe is a Monday, and it's a Bombay Night in Walton.
Sounds a good night,
yes.
doesn't it?
I'm looking forward to it.
So you can look at the numbers at the end of the show. They'll be up there for you. So do please contact Graham. Graham, I think you're absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
So busy, and I know, as you say, you're off to another meeting in a minute.
Yeah, it's so exciting, and so we can, as I say, we can do so much in the town if we really want to, and I just feel really enthusiastic about it.
Fantastic. I can tell. Absolutely can tell. So do please remember, this is for a very good cause. If you've got any items that you don't need or you want to get rid of, please ring Basic Life and speak to Graham or one of your volunteers. Some smashing things in there as well. So also, don't forget to go and have a look, because you never know what you'll find by rummaging around. So thank you very much for watching the show, and thank you so much, Graham. It's been wonderful.
Lovely to meet you.
And you too. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Bye-bye.